I sincerely hope you can see my face right now, because I have no way to tell. You should see my tripod that I'm using. I say tripod in the very loosest sense of the terms. I literally have thumbtacks stuck into my board and my phone is being held up by those thumbtacks. Quality. That's what you get when you come here. So I decided I should make a video because I haven't in a while. Unfortunately, as you can probably tell, I have the tiny chicken disease, which is making my voice really like gross sounding, and I probably also look like I'm about to fall over. So I apologize for that. I was gonna be like, oh, I'll talk about the things I'm most looking forward to in 2015, except I have no idea what's even happening in 2015. I don't know. What's happening in 2015? Like, I don't even know. Are there any cool books coming out? Are there? Like, are there movies I'm looking forward to? So instead, I'm gonna talk about everyone's favorite planet, Uranus. Woo! So, Uranus was discovered by this guy called William Herschel, who is super cool, but not quite as cool as his sister Caroline Herschel, who you may have heard about because I freaking love her. So William Herschel was a British astronomer, and one day he was like looking through his telescope and he was like, oh my god, that star, it's not actually a star. I bet it's a comet. And he just figured it was a comet because it was like moving. And then some other people were looking at this comet and they were like, dude, that's not a comet. I mean, like, A, its orbit is fairly circular, and B, it looks nothing like a comet. And he's like, oh, I guess it's a planet then. Uranus was the first planet ever discovered with a telescope, which is like, what? So William Herschel got all this acclaim and everyone was like, yo, you're so cool. And the king was like, let's be best buds. Come live with me. He literally paid William Herschel like £200 to come live in Windsor so that the royal family could, like, I don't know, use his telescope sometimes. And he got the title of court astronomer, which is just, man, William Herschel, discover planets and you get cool perks. So William Herschel needed to name this planet, so he's like, well, you know, in the past, planets have often been named after important, significant figures at the time that they were discovered, like Jupiter and Saturn and whatever. And then he was like, I shall name my planet after a very significant figure in my life, my best bro, King George. So he named it Georgium Sidus, which means, like, basically Star of George. Unfortunately, everyone, like, outside of Britain was like, George is a stupid name. You can't name this planet after the King of Britain. That's, like, the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So everyone was using all these different names. Some people were calling it Herschel because, like, William Herschel discovered it. And people were just all over the place. We should call it Neptune because there was some, like, weird ship or something. I don't even remember. They were like, let's call it Neptune, but then they decided not to call it Neptune, and then someone was like, oh my gosh, guys, I just had the greatest idea. So you know how Saturn is the father of Jupiter? And everyone was like, yeah, sure. We should name this new planet after the father of Saturn. And everyone was like, oh yeah, we could totally call it Uranus. But then, instead of calling it Uranus, like, I don't know, it's a perfectly fine name, whatever, they called it Uranus, which is the Latin version of that name. And that name stuck, and everyone was like, that's a great name, and now it's the official name for that planet. I hope you have enjoyed this little history lesson.